There is so much information about nutrition and so much people talk about various kinds of nutritional philosophies, different parties about nutrition like protein, fat, carbohydrates and things like that, where it almost becomes like a political fight or an ideology about nutrition. While there is a lot more about the nutritional science that we all have to understand. However, uh, did human beings really had to know about the nutritional science when they were all living? Our ancestors, from an evolutionary biology perspective, did they have to really know about the nutritional science when they could live successfully and adapt to their environments? So to answer this question, actually it is both yes and no, because human beings adapt with the changing times, with what we do to the environment, and also how we adapt instead of maladapting. So all this talk about various factions about the protein has to be more, the carbohydrate has to be more, I'm a fat faction, I'm a low fat faction, I'm a high protein faction, I'm a low carbohydrate faction, like that. Why do we have to know about this? Why does it really matter? So it matters sometimes, especially in this day and age, because it is not about the food mostly, it is about what we do to the food. Over the last half a century, with the industrialization, we have done so much to the food and ultra processed it and processed it to such a great extent that the same food behaves completely differently as we are adapting to our times and causing new metabolic disorders. So instead of talking about the food, what we do to the food that makes us adapt and maladapt differently and causing new chronic metabolic disease is the issue. So in that aspect, knowing about the content of the food and how a natural food or an ultra processed food varies differently, how we are choosing ultra processed foods and processed foods for the sake of convenience because of our adaptation and evolution and getting more efficient in the modern societies matters a lot. So if we were to be like ancestors who chose our food by natural selection from where we live and ate food naturally, as opposed to processing the food because of our convenience as well as our advancement in all our lives, it makes sense sometimes to understand what is a carbohydrate, what is a protein, what is a fat, what is a mineral, what is a fiber, and how those constituents of the food matter, and how some foods have more carbohydrate, more protein, some foods have more fat, and how it affects us in terms of our metabolic signaling, metabolic flexibility, and also metabolic adaptation, and also metabolic health or metabolic dysfunction leading to ill health. So I will be talking about some fundamentals of what is a carbohydrate, what is a protein, what is a fat, in very simple terms. Why do I have to know this? Do I really have to know this when I eat? Not necessarily, but if you are in the modern environment of eating ultra processed foods for convenience, it helps a lot to understand what exactly is a carbohydrate, protein, or a fat, and a fiber, a mineral, water, and everything that gives us, that's very essential for us to have good health. Nutrition is one of the very important aspects of metabolic health. It's one of the important aspects, it's not everything. So I would like to give you the science of the nutritional science of some basic understanding, very basic understanding about the chemical nature of these foods in my next topic. I hope you agree with me if I say that knowledge of the knowledge is very important. I will see you very soon in my next topic to start talking about carbohydrates, fats and proteins in a very basic sense, and I'm looking forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you.